The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burks. Brought to you by Medines Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medines. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Burks.
Hi everyone, Lee Burks, your host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We've got a great show today. Shawn Burks is our guest. Appreciate Shawn for joining us, and we're going to talk about what Shawn's doing today. He's got a business. He's been running a business for a long time. He played for LSU. He's a great linebacker. He played for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins.
I don't remember the Commanders back then. Neither does Shawn, but the Washington Redskins back in the day, NFL, and was a track guy. We're going to talk about his track background, and he was a quarterback before he was a linebacker at Central High School, my old high school too. But we'll be right back with more of Shawn Burks.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back, Lee Burks, your host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. I want to let everybody know there's food in front. It's real food now, and it's early. And before we interview Shawn Burks, I know Shawn and me would love to eat some of his food right now. But this is chicken parmesan, homemade. Mike Johnson, the owner. Spaghetti, great cheese, and great red sauce. I like the red sauce. And I love their garlic bread. They got some of the best garlic bread in town. But Shawn Burks is our guest, and LSU linebacker, played for LSU in the 80s. We'll go over the years, played for the Redskins, Washington Redskins, which is now the Commanders, and high school football and track at not only LSU, but in high school at Central High School. But I want to introduce Shawn Burks. Shawn, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lee. Good to see you
Appreciate you
again.
taking the time, man, to join us.
Well, I appreciate you putting all this food in front of me. I smell it, and I still see
You need
the
a fork?
steam coming off of it. Yeah, if it's still warm out there. Well, it's not even if it's warm. I think I might take that with me when I leave.
Mike Johnson wants you to take it with you. But we're at the Julio Brothers Italian Restaurant on Perkins Road. If you've never heard of it before, and you're coming to Baton Rouge from Monroe or Shreveport or wherever you're coming from, brunch on Sunday.
Yeah.
10:30
I was here
to
last
2.
Sunday.
Last Sunday.
I was here Sunday.
During the week, great homemade Italian food, great wines if you like wine. If you just want to hang out, bring your wife or
I've been
date.
coming for 35 years now. My best friend Randy Moore. Matter of fact, this is company Reliable Production. But anyway, Randy brought me to this restaurant 35 years ago, and I knew Mike when he was a bartender. And then when he met his wife, married her, and of course, I can't tell you how many times I've been in here.
I want to mention this, and it's a story that Mike wanted me to tell you that he remembered about you and Tommy Hodson.
Yeah.
You know that story?
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into Shawn's playing days and everything, but he told me, and I'll tell the short story, you tell the story. Yeah. You and Tommy ate here twice in one day and played a round of golf?
We came here and ate, and we ate a meatball po' boy, eggplant meatball po' boy without the bread. Came here and sat right there on the corner of the bar, ate that, went to the Bluffs, played a round of golf, came back and ate it again for dinner.
There you go, Mike.
Yeah.
Shawn, your career, you had a great career at LSU. You played in the NFL. You got to see the pro game and played for Coach Gibbs. And you were recruited by Jerry Stovall at LSU and played for Onsparger.
Correct.
What was it about football for you and track? We'll talk about your track background, but what was it with sports with Shawn Burks? Because when I was a transplant to Central, you grew up in Central, and you know Steve Ensminger, your brother Mike Burks, who played at LSU, and you got the McClures, and you got all these guys that come out. But I always heard one name growing up, Shawn Burks. When I moved to Central, I was about 7 or 8, and they said the guy that we have in this town that can play is Shawn Burks. I said, what is he? Quarterback. Then as I grew up, and I was an LSU fan, you went to LSU as a linebacker.
Yeah.
So how did that transfer from quarterback to linebacker?
Well, in Central, everybody played sports for the most part. I say everybody.
Yeah.
But, country, town, and you said names that mean a lot to me. The McClures, Archie McClure he started bitty basketball, all these things. So we started with that. Steve Ensminger as a kid, my brother played with Steve as a freshman in high school and as a freshman at LSU. And so Steve, and then when I went in to play quarterback, I'd go catch with him over the summer. And that son gun I'd catch, and my hands would start bleeding because he was just
Strong.
tremendous athlete, tremendous quarterback. So all of these people, and then so that's what we did. I loved it. I got into throwing a javelin because my brother, Mike Burks, and of course, he paved the path for me. He was my hero, and so started throwing the javelin. First time I threw the javelin, I put up on a dog box in a garbage can. I got about 40, 50 feet. And I threw the javelin through the garbage can, so that got me started, doing that. So
simple stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
And you ended up throwing it 270 feet.
In college, I did.
At LSU.
My high school furthest was, like I told you earlier.
That story, you want to share that?
Yeah. So as a freshman in high school, I had success with the javelin very quick, because of my brother. And because of Boots Garland.
Oh man, Boots! I miss Boots.
So them two people were very instrumental. And then as a freshman, then I got to meet Terry Bradshaw, and so he always had the state record, and so that was something. So freshman, I was third in state as a freshman in high school in javelin. My sophomore, junior, and senior year, I won the state championship. So my senior, and I was always being thought of as beating Terry Bradshaw's record. Well, my last throw of my last track meet in high school, I had a little routine that I'd talk to my creator, God, and I wrote 143 on the ground, and I wore a towel at LSU, and it says, I love God. So I went down, I wrote that down on the grass right there, and I get up the stand, grab the javelin, and I seen a squirrel, and this is at Bernie Moore Stadium, Bernie Moore track field.
So cute.
Yep. So I saw a squirrel run across the track, and it was like God speaking to me. I said, okay, boy, get up there and do your deal. My last throw, my last track meet in high school, I broke Terry Bradshaw's record. And
unbelievable. That was quite a feat, man. And
yeah,
like you said, prayer and everything, man. You believe in it.
Yeah, it was.
And then LSU obviously saw that.
Well, Jerry, in my senior year in high school, I played linebacker, and then Jerry recruited me as a linebacker. And if I didn't do well as linebacker, I was going to be offensive center. So a good friend of ours, so a good friend of ours is most friend. And I'm gonna tell him, Nacho, you glad I didn't play
Joe
center?
Albagamo,
Albagamo, Nacho, Joseph Albagamo but we knew him as Nacho. But just a little pick with you, Nacho. He was only a parade All-American in college.
You would have been messing with him a little bit.
Yeah. So, but I came into LSU, timing and everything, and I had success at LSU very early. I was a Baton Rouge kid that dreamed the dream.
Yeah.
We all dreamed the dream of playing for LSU. Well, and I had an older brother there before me, and Steve Ensminger, all these people And so, I mean, my hero growing up, was George, Bevan, and so had some great people that I looked up to. Heard, Jimmy Taylor's, stories about him growing up. But George Bevan was my hero.
Linebacker.
Yeah, and so getting LSU and knowing all these people, I had success because of timing and people getting hurt. I had success very early at LSU.
Shawn, we take a break, come back. We're going to talk about LSU more, and I've got some questions for you about LSU and maybe some stories you might want to share in the 80s playing for Onsparger most of your career.
Yeah.
They called him the genius of defense. And so
that's
we'll
correct.
talk about, we'll be right back with more Shawn Burks.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report Podcast. If you're over 45 in age, please hit the little subscribe button. It's free. There's no catch to it. You don't owe any money. Help us grow. But there's a little button on YouTube. Just hit subscribe, and we're growing. We've got more listeners than we do subscribers, Shawn, but we're getting there. But statewide, we're getting over 100,000 with all our little media deal. We started with about 3.
That's good for you, brother. Good for you.
I was on Cox 4 and ETEL and broke off, and faith, man.
There you go.
Got Shawn Burks with us, former LSU Tiger, Central Wildcat, track athlete, all SEC in football and track at LSU. And also, we're going to get to the Redskins, but actually I want to show a photo that Shawn gave us to use. The first photos with Joe Jacoby in the background.
Yeah.
I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Well, what a grown man that guy was.
Look, I'm way in front of him too.
I see that on
and
there.
he's still towering over me.
Unbelievable.
But Joe was he was a free agent. Joe had a tremendous man and had a tremendous career. One of the Hogs.
The Hogs. The next picture Shawn gave us, number 57 at LSU, jersey number. He has his hands up. I don't know if he's blocking a kick or talking to Owensbarger, but something's going on. But it's a picture of him as a linebacker. The next picture, we have of Shawn LSU with Bill Onsbarger. And I don't know if that's Archer in there too.
That's Archer, and that's Pete Jenkins.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a heck of a, and they called me in. It was a 4th down. That was in Notre Dame, and we were devising a plan of attack
on defense.
Yeah.
With the brains.
Yeah.
Some good brains.
That was a pretty good brain trust right there.
Good brain trust.
Yeah.
The last picture, it looks like a team picture. Shawn looks like he's taking a picture for the Redskins, not the Commanders. But here's a picture. He looked like he autographed for somebody.
Yeah, for a good friend of mine, Mark Vialahi here in town.
Okay.
On University of Texaco, University of Car Care now.
What was it like playing for Washington?
Totally different than at LSU. I mean, LSU was home. I had a brother at Steve Ensminger, those people that I looked up to that kind of paved the path for me. So it was an easy landing for me. Plus, I was 19 when I got there. I went to the 8th grade twice. I tell people I went 16 years of middle school. I went to the 8th grade twice.
I did that too.
So those guys, they made it easier for me. It was an easy landing for me.
Yeah.
And then timing, like I told you, I had some good breaks that happened, and it was I was in Wizard of Oz. I was a kid that dreamed the dream. My dream came true, and it was a time that I'll never forget. But the Redskins got there. My son had medical issues, moved my wife away. She's from a little small town, Fairdy, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
So you pick up your family and move, and it's a business, and it's just still have some long-lasting friends from that. But it's Dave Butts. I was the first rookie that he spoke to in 12 years, because the vets did not allow themselves to get close to rookies because it's such a revolving door. Yeah. And Mark Mosley got fired after Monday Night Football game, Dallas Cowboys. He missed 2 field goals, and they fired him on the plane ride home. And so we go to Philadelphia next week, and Butsy, he says, "Hey, boy, sit here." And so I reminded him of a guy named Sam, I forget, Hall of Fame.
Huff?
No, not Huff. Okay. Hamburg.
Oh, Hamburg, linebacker.
Yeah, not Sam Hamburg. It was something Hamburg. But I reminded him the way I wore my hat. I wore a Sugar Bowl hat.
Oh, okay.
So Butsy took me under his wing, told me the do's and don'ts of what to do and not to do, and it was kind of the talk of the plane, kind of the talk of the team. Hey, who's this rookie he's talking to? So anyway, it was a little tougher. It's a business.
A lot of stuff people don't talk about.
Yeah.
Besides football cards and contracts and all that.
Yeah.
Any John Riggins or Theismann stories, Joe Theismann?
Well, Theismann and Riggins had retired, but they still were there during minicamp. And so I went to minicamp, and I was lockering with Theismann. I didn't even tell you this a while ago. So I was lockering with Theismann while I was in between practices. I was taking a nap, and all of a sudden I feel something cold, and I wake up, and it's Coke, and somebody's pouring Coke on my head.
You're a rookie.
I'm a freaking rookie, and I jumped up.
It was
Joe Theismann.
The quarterback.
I said, yeah. Oh, sorry, Joe. I didn't even want to look at him. You turn into a pillar of salt. So nevertheless, I didn't. I kind of humbled myself and said, yeah, will you pour some more Coke on me?
Was Joe talkative to you as a rookie?
Yeah. Oh, Joe was a tremendous man. Joe. Joe. Yeah. That Joe Theismann. I thought you were talking about Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, tremendous. All these guys. It's a humbling sport, and it's a humbling profession. So 90% of the people are real, and they put on their pants just like
just a
everybody.
business.
Yeah,
at the end
it's
of the
just
day.
it's really, and it's a short-lived business life.
Not for long. NFL, not for long.
That is true.
Going back to LSU, Shawn, and I've always heard, I want you to tell it to our audience and me too, but I always heard your journey to LSU. You lived the dream, but it wasn't easy getting that scholarship to LSU, from what I heard.
No, it wasn't.
How did that happen for you?
Well, the biggest thing that happened, there's several things that merged, but the biggest thing was, guy spoke about, is Boots Garland. Boots knew Jerry Stovall. Boots went in and talked to Jerry about me.
Wow.
Then one of my heroes and one of the best men that I know is a guy named Buddy Nix. So Buddy Nix came to Central High School to interview me, to recruit me, but as an interview. Well, at the interview or at the meeting, I can remember standing up on a chair, basically, and he saw that I'd cut my arm off, cut my heart out to play at LSU. And so they took a chance on me, and then Jerry got behind it. And then but it started with Boots, went to Buddy Nix. Both of those guys put their butt on the line for me, and then Jerry made the ultimate decision and it was just luck, timing, God, and I had best 4 years of my life, besides when I met my wife.
I miss Boots Garland.
Yeah, I do too.
He was one of a kind.
I miss him too.
People that didn't know Boots, he had humor. He never laughed at his own jokes, and he'd make you laugh, but he was also serious in what he did with the speed training and everything. I remember, who is this man at 7 a.m. at Central High School? We're out there doing two-a-days.
Yeah.
Who is this speaking to us? And when he was done, I remembered that guy.
Yeah.
You remember Boots.
Oh, no doubt.
Want to take a break. When we come back, we've got one more segment with Shawn. I want to ask Shawn about some of his former teammates at LSU. There was quite a collection of characters back in the day in the 80s.
It was.
And what he thought of Bill Onsparger and how much of a genius he was. I know Jamie Bice thought highly of Bill, and I'm sure Shawn will say the same.
Yeah.
But we'll be right back with more Shawn Burks.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of the Sports Scouter Report podcast. You can catch it on video on YouTube, Twitter. We even have Instagram. I had to be shown how to do Instagram by a couple of interns, so we're trying to do that, Shawn, and all the social media aspects we're on. And but go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We've got Shawn Burks with us today, and we've been talking LSU football, Washington Redskins. I don't know about the Commanders.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about Central High School. Some of your teammates over the years, some of these guys were younger, some were older than you. Jeff Wickersham, Doug Powell, a couple of quarterbacks, Dalton
Tommy
Hilliard,
Hodson,
Gene Lang,
Alan Risher,
Craig Rathjean,
yeah,
Eric Martin, Julius Durrell, Guy Mackey,
let me tell you,
Mitch Andrews.
Let me tell you a statistic that's going to scare a lot of people. So the 4 years I was there, so 3 years under me, 3 years older than me, 7 years that touched me. There's over 20 of my teammates that are not alive today.
Unbelievable.
You know, that's really
Young.
yes.
Too
and
young.
Then NFL statistics. When I played, and even today, the average life expectancy of an NFL football player was 53 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but the 20 guys that have passed away, from Fritchie to, Toby Caston, Mikey Matuk, Tommy Campbell, Rough and Rodriguez.
Matuk's dad, yeah.
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 Big Mikey.
Big Mikey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Eric Andelsack.
Unbelievable.
Ralph Norwood, Keith Malasaw. I mean,
Mm.
I can continue on and on.
Yeah.
And I got chills. Look, I see my old buddies.
Your teammates, man. That was your family.
Yeah.
Mike Gambrell,
Yeah.
one of the few O-linemen still alive. Him and Joe.
Yeah.
Kevin Langford.
Yep.
Another
Kevin. Me
O-lineman.
and Kevin are born on the same day, have exact same birthday, same exact age.
Wow. Clint
Yeah.
Berry,
Clint Berry,
Earl Curtis.
Earl,
Um,
James White is no longer living.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Clarence Osborne,
Clarence, Baton Rouge boy, another one that Buddy Nix recruited.
Greg Dubrock, John
Greg,
Curtis
big
guy.
Greg, oh yeah. Greg took me under his wing. I looked at when I got there, I looked at who was a workout guy, and Greg was the man. And so Greg took me under his wing
Showed you
and showed me the ropes and stuff
Man.
like that.
Ricky Chapman,
Ricky
Winfield,
Winfield.
Rodell Melanson,
Man, you talking about some.
Freddie Lewis, Jeffrey Dale Winfield, great
Yeah.
DB.
Another one just passed away, Tim Joyner.
Yeah, Tim, Catholic
Tim,
High.
Catholic High guy, yeah.
Lifford Hobley,
Lifford,
Eugene Daniel, that's
Eugene-
another local.
Gino,
Lehigh.
man, what a tremendous guy, what a tremendous human, and what a great man.
Your track career, people don't realize your javelin throw. I mean, over 250 feet in college, 270 was your best throw. I mean, you and Bradshaw, that's all I heard growing up in the javelin. But being able to do track and football at the same time, it's not easy.
No,
Two sports at one time.
Yeah.
Shawn?
it's not. But I did it one time. One year, I was hurt during spring, tore a groin my freshman year. Actually in a spring practice. The next year, I don't know. I hurt myself, couldn't go for spring. But my third year, me and Bill had a deal that if I qualified, that I could
Yeah,
I could do track, and that's what I did. And I went on to make All-American my junior year in college.
Here's some LSU football players that did track. Ricky Jean-Francois threw the shot put. He was on the championship team that beat Ohio State. Played a few years in the NFL. Shawn Burks, javelin. Billy Cannon. And Shawn knew this, but Billy was the 100 meters champ in 1958 in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable at 215 pounds back in the day.
I mean, he was truly a unicorn.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Eddie Kennison had a great track career
Yeah.
in football. Trendon Holiday, the smallest and fastest guy ever at LSU, 5'4",
Yeah.
140, ran a 9.9 at LSU in track. Benny Brazil, who's now in the track staff at LSU from Houston, Texas, was an All-American. Xavier Carter won more medals than anybody in track at LSU, 7 titles. Kerry Vincent from Beaumont, Texas. Chris Cummings from Alabama. Jack Torrance was the first one at LSU.
Jack.
1931 to 33
Yeah.
against Germany
Yeah.
in the Olympics.
Yeah.
When you know who was still
Oh yeah.
and won all those medals in the shot put.
Yep, that's correct. And his son and his grandkids grew up in Central. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on.
Jack Torrance sure did.
And Dante Jackson, who was an All-American track performer. Shawn, who's had the most impact on your life? Parents watching, kids watching, mom and daddies. You've had Arnsberger, you had Stovall, you had Joe Gibbs, high school football, your coaches there, but your dad, everybody's involved. And you talk about Boots Garland and Buddy Nix that vouched for you, vouched for Dalton Hilliard, and like you were talking about earlier, Carl Wilson at Baker. But who would you like to thank that had an impact on your life?
Man, they try not to get emotional.
It's okay. These people meant a lot to you.
There's so many people. I can't pick out one person, and you've said them all. From Archie McClure to Leo McClure, Rip McClure that didn't even coach me. Then you get into and I'm going to forget people. You got Boots Garland. You got Buddy Nix. Man, Buddy Nix stuck his neck out on the line for me. You got Jerry Stovall. Those people. And then when I got to the league, Joe Gibbs, although he fired me twice, he means so much to me.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with him firing me, but he did. And the guy named Kurt Cavea, he only played 17 years in the league, so they knew a little bit about what they're doing. So, but there's just so many people that and I know that I've left some out, but it's amazing what people that invest into the human soul, and I got to be a part of that. They were Santa Clauses for me. Yeah. As a little kid, waiting for Christmas morning, I opened my present, and they allowed me to do things that they took a chance on me, and it was good for me. Hopefully, it was good for them.
Hopefully that warmed people's heart, parents watching and coaches. Don't ever give up, because somebody might come into your life to help you. It takes 1 or 2 people or just somebody to help you.
Takes one spark.
That's it. Bam. And believe in which you can do, your abilities. Don't give up. Dream. Before we end,
dream the dream.
Shawn has been a very successful, modest businessman. But tell everybody what you do now. You're in a unique business.
Well, first of all, what success is to you and me and other people here could be 6 different things. But I've been fortunate in my life. I'm still on the hamster wheel. I'm still in the race, and I'm glad that physically I can be in the race. But I'm in the old wood business. Another LSU guy is too. I'm gonna give him some props. A guy named Todd McClure.
There you go.
Todd's in the old wood business, and his family was very instrumental. His dad was very instrumental in my life. His grandfather. But so I take wood that comes out of old buildings all over the world, actually, and then we reproduce it into that right there I put up for Mike, and then I've gotten into we design and build recreational lodges across the country.
I didn't know that.
And done a lot of work for one of your employees, Cox Communication.
Come on.
A guy named Jim Kennedy.
Okay.
And most probably built about 5 different things for him across the country. And so fortunate that whatever my tastes are, they end up liking it. So it's a very easy interaction that we do. And I got some great people that I get to work with. You know.
And then the show goes statewide. Coach, tell everybody the name of your company.
Yeah.
Shawn.
Name of my company is Antique Woods of Louisiana.
And if they want to go to your site,
Yeah,
check it out.
it's Antique Woods of Louisiana, and
Go in there and check out what you do.
pretty neat website. I got my son manages our location in Sunset. My daughter works with me here in Baton Rouge, and so it's definitely a family affair.
Yeah.
And something I want to continue on.
And I don't want to leave out other brothers. We talk about Mike Burks that played at LSU, O-lineman. Todd Burks played at LSU.
And then
And
Chad.
Chad played
Yeah.
at Tech, right?
Well, he played at LSU.
LSU and
We all four of us brothers
it's amazing.
actually played in games at LSU. 3 of us lettered, and all 4 of us got on LSU field.
Proud dad.
Yep, was very proud.
Appreciate you, Shawn.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Appreciate
Yep.
Shawn Burks for joining us. And I'm glad you watched, and we'll see everybody on Friday. We'll have John Melvin University, which is a new college in Crowley, Louisiana. We're going to meet the founder of the school, and the head coach will join us in a minute as well for our next show. We'll see everybody on Friday.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Burkeen.